Today, we are going to be making something that is very close to the heart of many Filipinos, and I am talking about Filipino-style spaghetti, okay? If you haven't had this before, it is beefy, it is sweet, and my version is really cheesy. So you know what? Without further ado, let's get started. As always, we'll start by preparing our ingredients. First, I'm dicing 10 pieces of garlic. Yes, I said 10. And 1 whole onion. Then I'm cutting 1 pound of hot dogs diagonally so that each piece has more surface area. I'm using Martin Pure Foods, but choose what's available in your local grocery store. Now, if you don't think it's a good idea to put hot dogs in your spaghetti, bring it up with Sheldon Cooper, because that guy is smart and he knows this is what's up. You're the one missing out. Next, we have to talk about a crucial ingredient, Eden cheese. I'd like to say this brand is optional, but it really isn't. If you can't find this online or in your area, you can substitute it with cheddar cheese. But let's face it, there's no substitute for Eden cheese, okay? If you know, you know. I'm grating the whole 165 grams and putting it in a container, and I used another 165 grams and cut them into smaller cubes. As you can see, this recipe isn't for the faint of heart. If you're trying to lose weight, this ain't it. Then I'm preparing 1 cup of banana ketchup, if I can get it off the container. It's for the sweet, tangy, and umami flavor. Stay with me here, okay? Don't judge it until you try it. I promise it goes well with everything else in this dish. Then I'm boiling water in the pot that has been adequately salted, just like the sea. Then I start cooking my spaghetti. Let's pause. The package instructions noted that the pasta will be al dente in 11 to 12 minutes. After dropping the pasta in the boiling water, I set a timer for 9 minutes. That's 2 minutes before the set time. Don't wait until the pasta is cooked before removing it from the pot of water, because we're gonna finish it in the oven, and you don't want to overcook it either. So, 9 minutes. Now for the sauce. Heat up a wok and add some oil, and when the cock is smoking hot, place 2 pounds of ground beef. That sound, that is what you want to hear. Spread it as much as you can so that most of the beef is in contact with the wok and so that it sears. As much as it's tempting to mix the beef at this point, don't touch it. Let it render its fat and wait for the bottom to develop that crispy texture for about 3 to 5 minutes. It makes a whole world of difference. And don't skip this step. Season it with salt and freshly ground pepper. Then, when your ancestors tell you, start breaking up the meat. The beef doesn't have to be fully cooked at this point, and you can now add the onions and the garlic. I don't like adding this before the meat because the garlic will burn while the beef is searing. Then I add 2 beef cubes to intensify the beef flavor. I know some people like adding this when you already have the sauce simmering, but I add it now for 2 reasons. First, I want to toast the spices in the cube. The theory is that you'll get more flavor this way. And second, while the cubes melt, the flavor gets incorporated into the meat. Now add in the hot dogs and give it a mix. Then add the sweet Filipino-style spaghetti sauce. I'm using UFC. UFC, baka naman. Squeeze everything out to the pan. Add a little water to the packet and pour it all back into the pan. Inflation is up in the US, so we ain't wasting nothing, okay? Mix it all, then add the banana ketchup. Now add in the fish sauce and balance the flavors to ensure it's seasoned. And the only way to know if the fish sauce is good at this point is to taste it. When you taste the sauce, it needs to be beefy, sweet, umami, and a little salty. If you feel like it needs a little bit more of the fish sauce, I would hold back at this point. We're adding a lot of cheese, so you wouldn't want it to be too salty. It's all about balance. Then I add half a can of condensed milk. I've tried making this before without the condensed milk, and you guys, it's a life-changing moment. I can't even explain it. You have to try it and then you have to let me know. Then I turn off the heat and add the cubed cheese. The residual heat will start melting the cheese, so you'd want to transfer the sauce immediately to the baking dish after this step. This is also why I add both cubed and grated cheese. I add the cubed cheese to the sauce so that I can ensure that the sauce that sticks to the pasta is also cheesy. But then, you also eat with your eyes. So I top the mixture with the grated cheese and place it into a preheated oven to 400 degrees Fahrenheit for 10 minutes. Then, an optional step. If you want the cheesy burnt flavor, like me, low broil it for 5 minutes and it should end up like this. Tell me this isn't a good spaghetti, okay? Jollibee, ano na? Kabahan ka na? You guys, listen to this. You hear that? That is the sound of flavor. You're welcome. It's perfect. You gotta try this.